Jai Shri Krishna to all. Welcome to Path to Anandam Gita series. Freedom from pains and miseries to happy, healthy and peaceful life. Based upon 108 mantras and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. My question and God's answers. And today, series number 78. Know where to find God. Where can I find God? And pranam to Hariharji Maharaj, Guruji, for his blessings, his guidance, and helping us to follow his mission, his guidance. And Lord Krishna, I'm Satya Kalra, your host and founder of Path to Ananda, Path to Blissful Living. And whatever you see on this page is all blessing of Guruji and his guidance. All these books and CDs, the bestsellers, are all under his guidance. Today, we will focus on chapter 13, verse 12 to 16, though the main focus will be 13, where who is God? Where can I find God? And how to practice? What is my homework and my sankalpa? My sankalpa, I feel the presence of God everywhere. And then meditation and question and answers. So let's all pray to Lord Krishna together to remove our ignorance, our vishad, our confusion, just like Lord Krishna has guided Arjuna when he was in desperate situation, worried, confused. And he prayed to him, asked for his guidance, very humbly, by surrendering to him. So karpanye dosho prate svabhava prasyami tvam dharma sammuna chetah yachasai syani nishchitam bruhitan me shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanyam shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanyam. My heart is overpowered by the weakness of pity. I have lost all of my composure and my mind is confused about my duty, my dharma. Thus, I am requesting you to please guide me, tell me what to do and what not to do. So please help me because I'm your disciple. I surrender to you. Please instruct me. Just like Arjuna, when he heard his friend's wisdom, Lord Krishna's wisdom, his guidance, and he went on the blissful journey, self-transform himself, where he could not, said, I do not follow the advice. I cannot do what you are asking me. Karishye vachanam tav. Then all of a sudden he says, I will do as you advise. So let's all go on that blissful journey for self-purification, self-transformation, and uplift ourselves. So after listening to Arjuna's request, his friend, his divine company, Lord Krishna took him on a blissful journey with love and devotion, and enlightening him with the wisdom step by step, where Arjuna understood what is true knowledge is, who is the creator, who is the creation, what is the creation, body, individual souls, and supreme souls, Jiva, Jiv Atma, and Paramatma. And he taught us, he's teaching us, he taught Arjuna how to attain eternal happiness, peace, anandam, while living in the material world, in this prakriti, maya, and the purpose of life, God and self-realization. Realize our true nature. I am Sat Chit Ananda. All is this based on Hariharji Maharaj's quotations. So I just put some quotations together and summarize it. So here, in whole Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses. Out of that, 574 verses were spoken by Lord Krishna. And it has been divided into 18 chapters by Gyanis, by scholars, by previously. So each chapter, 18 chapter, is called yoga. Union with supreme power, experience his presence. And then it is further divided into Karam Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Gyan Yoga. And we went on the Karam Yoga, Action Yoga, chapter 1 to 6. We already went on the Bhakti Yoga, 7 to 12 chapters. And now we are at the Gyan Yoga, where is the true knowledge yoga. Who is a creator, Kshatragya and Kshatragnya. And today we will have the verse 12 to 16. So the path of knowing the creator and his creation. Union with God through path of knowing body, who we are, our body, physical body, our soul, which operates this body, and then the supreme power, who operates everybody's lives, whole creation. So knowing the difference between body, soul, and supreme soul, Jiva, Jiv, Atma, and Paramatma, through true knowledge, the knowledge of self, God, oneness. This is also known as transcendental knowledge, integral knowledge, metaphysical knowledge. But the summary of that is that body plus soul makes it Jivatma. And that Jivatma, individual Atma, we are Jivatma, we are individual being. When we develop divine qualities, then we can fully understand what is true knowledge is, what is the relationship between this body, this Jiv Atma, with Atma and Paramatma, and how we can get to oneness. So here you can see is Jagdish, supreme power is, we are trying to, who is supreme power and where to find him, with the Jiva and Jiv Atma and Paramatma. The whole chapter starts. Lord Krishna answers Arjuna's question, where he asked initially in chapter 12, should I worship form, God with form or formless, because he was confused about that. And Lord Krishna explained him there that it is difficult to worship God in formless. However, he showed him the path how to become his dearest by worshipping form. And here he's showing again how that formless is the ultimate, where we experience with supreme power non-duality. So from duality to non-duality. And he tells him further why this needs to be experienced, because with the physical body, the field of action, Kshetragna, which is the cause of, we got it because of the cause and effect by reaping our karmas. So he says, idam shariram konte kshetram iti dhyate itadya veti tam prahu shatagya iti tadidva. The Supreme Lord said, O Arjuna, this body is called the field, Kshetra. One who knows is knower of the field, Kshetragna. So body is made with matter and energy. Whatever you see, this is all matter. Whatever this operates, whoever operates this physical body is called Kshetragna. So how to become the knower and know the known? How to become Kshetragna? Because Kshetragna is two parts. One is this, when we understand this body is temporary and Atma, the soul, is permanent. So we understand. So we as a Jeev become Jeev Atma as a knower. However, the supreme knower who created the supreme, this universe with his supreme power, is known as known God. So path to oneness and liberation by becoming the knower and the known. But what needs to be known? Here it says knowledge, that this body is temporary and soul is permanent. So the tide of knowledge, the one who wants to know, like we want to know. So we are the lower level of Kshetragna, but the supreme Kshetragna who knows about whole universe and what needs to be known as true knowledge. But how to know that? We spoke about witnessing ourselves, observing our behavior. So one must know the true knowledge to become the knower. Because how would you become the knower? You have to know something, and that is the true knowledge. And the knowledge of God, knowledge of supreme power, knowing that supreme power is the one who operates the whole universe, and a small fraction of that is in this body, so this body becomes the microcosm, and the whole universe is a macrocosm. So whatever is in the universe is in this body, Atma and Paramatma. And we briefly went over what is true knowledge and what is ignorance. And I hope you all remember that from the previous session, but in summary, humbleness, non-violence, all these divine qualities, these are the hallmarks of the person who knows this. And this is the virtues, this is the knowledge one should gain. So in other words, we should have honesty, purity, firmness, steadfastness, and also see God everywhere. And Opposite of that is the ignorance, darkness, hypocrisy, violence, dishonesty, all the vices. And these vices are barrier to developing the self-knowledge because one is very lost, very upset. So all these qualities, virtues is the true knowledge, to understand, to reach to the oneness. But anything other than that is opposite, which means it will lower us, to take us to the lower conscious level. And this is a path to go to higher conscious level. So the requirement to become the knower and know the known, in other words, become the Kshatragna and know the Supreme Kshatragna. One must know the true knowledge to become the knower. And that is the true knowledge. In other words, we have to experience it. We have to practice it. And now, we talked about what is a body, what is a true knowledge. And now the third part comes. Who is God? Who needs to be known? God, supreme power. So God, here it says, God is universal, omnipresent, all pervading. He's all over. In fact, God is beyond imagination. Because we saw his Vishwarupa in the physical form, that he was everywhere. I mean, just by looking at it in previous sessions in chapter 11, where when he showed his Supreme Rupa to Arjun, then he was scared because he didn't know it. This is what Lord Krishna is all about, because until then he was his friend. And here he showed him that he is in all these Devi Devtas, he's in everybody, including the opposite party, which is the chorus party, and who is standing there. He's everywhere, and he's operating. Who is going to be killed? Who is burning? How is that going to be killed? Everything, he gives him a vision of that, and that's where Arjun got very confused. So Lord Krishna is also telling him, yes, I am in that form, but now I want to show you and explain you my unduality form. So Sakar Roop and Nirakar Roop. This was the Sakar Roop, which he was his friend, operating his charioteer. He became his charioteer. And here he shows him he's bigger than that. And now he is taking him to the next path, which is to start from chapter 13 to 18, how he can experience him within his own body, with how he attains him, how he feels the oneness with him. That small Atma merges with the bigger soul, supreme soul, becomes Satchitanand. So that's where now he's showing him where he can find him. Because he's omnipresent, he's everywhere. But how he explains, he says, Sarvatra Prani Padam, Tat Sarvato Shiro Mukham, Sarvata Shrutim, Aloke, Sarvam, Avattam Tishtati. In other words, he says, Supreme Soul has his hands, feet, eyes, head, mouth, and ears everywhere. He's pervading all and everywhere. So he is everywhere through our senses, through whatever we see, whatever we just have to experience his presence. That's what he means, that our job is to experience him. So in next verses, he says, what to be known, but how what to be known? No, we need to know now. We understood that we need to know the supreme power. But how? How do we know that he is everywhere? So he further explains that through your senses, he possesses the function of all the senses: thinking, seeing, speaking, listening, and touching. Yet he is without all physical senses. In other words, whatever we see, how we see, our hidden power which operates our body, our senses. We have eyes, but these are the physical eyes. One can see only through the Jyoti. What is that Jyoti? That is the supreme power. I have a mouth, I can speak, but who is behind the giving me the power to speak? Who is the one who is giving me the power to listen, to think, to touch? That's what he means. Whatever you do through this physical body, through these senses, that current, that power is me. However, if that power is him, he is a pure power where we can experience through our physical body. But he also says, he is unattached, yet the sustainer of all. He's free from gunas. These gunas, the mother natures, material natures, the tamasic, rajasic, sattvic, who we made up with. We are made with triguni maya. This whole thing, whatever you see with your eyes, is made up with triguni maya. Tamasic, rajasic, sattvic, the gunas. He says, but I am beyond it. Because he's a supreme power. We are the limited individuals. So we are made with this triguni maya, and that's where we have this tamasic, rajasic, sattvic guna in us. He exists inside and also outside all beings. He's everywhere. What it means by he's everywhere, he's in all living beings and non-living beings. He's present, he's omnipresent. For example, in old times, we just used to get the phone calls and how difficult it was. Now it has become so easy. So we could hear him close by. We could hear him very far, like Chandran. We could see with all these gadgets. Who is in all these gadgets? His power is in all that gadgets. So even though those gadgets are very far, with the phone, with that power of Wi-Fi and internet, all that, we could hear other people from very far. We could see things in space, in galaxies. How? Because through his power. That's where he says, I'm omnipresent. I'm everywhere. He's always in supreme abode, Param Dham, yet so near, within and without, residing in our heart. So he is within us, where we can feel him through peace, through calmness. But he is also very far, where we could see him in the space. His Shakti, through his Shakti, we can see the things in the space. And we can actually experience him also. He's undivided like space, yet appear to be divided among all living beings. That question always comes, what does that mean? It simply means that we see every individual. So we think we are divided because we see our other human beings, our parents, our children, and friends. Everybody is individual. So that's what he's saying. I appear to be divided. He's divided among all these people because we all see them differently. But all are operated with the one power. That's the supreme power. Everybody has the same soul within. And that's where he says, I'm divided. And you might see me divided, but I am the same. And our Shastra, there is one example which you might have heard over and over, and I'm going to repeat that again. The same example is given everywhere. Is that like a sun? You see sun, but if you put many pots with water. You see the reflection of sun in every pot. It doesn't mean the sun is divided, but we see it divided. But all is coming from the reflection is coming from the same sun. Similarly, the reflection of his soul is coming in all of us. Or, however, he is the supreme power, the microcosm, and he's the microcosm. And he's also known as generator, operator, and demolisher. So God is omnipresent. He's everywhere. You can see feel his power, potent. He's everywhere. He is omniscient. He gives a wisdom to everything. So why he's called generator, operator, and demolisher? He's a creator, like I put it here, Brahma, created by Brahma. Brahman created Brahma and Brahma created us. And then this power, divine Shakti, he operates the whole universe, including our body, through this divine Shakti. That's why he's called operator or Vishnu. And then demolisher, Shiva. Why he's called demolisher? Because based on our cause and its karmas, we go back and forth. Birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. So that when the death comes, it comes demolisher. When the birth comes, it becomes a creator. And when we live in this universe, world, then he operates us. So that's why it is also defined as God, generator, operator, demolisher. So how to practice this? How to feel his presence? How to know the knower? How to attain, gain that ultimate wisdom to know the Kshetra and Kshetragna. And in the whole chapter, it says you become the Sakshi. Open your eyes, observe. That's why live in self-awareness to see the presence that God is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. He's everywhere. So first as we said, that first we have to know the body, which we learned and summarize it today. We also learn the soul, the knower of the field, Jivatma, individual body, which is the limited body, limited consciousness. And then comes the supreme knowledge through the divine qualities. Our consciousness goes to the higher consciousness. So this is basically lower conscious level to the higher conscious level. How to go that? Understand about our body. How? By learning the true knowledge, developing divine qualities, which means we purify ourselves, we transform ourselves. And then we experience that this body is temporary and Atma is permanent. We are immortal. We could be immortal. We have a choice. You know, I just heard this from one of my friends. She told me that in one of the sessions, Satya Sai Baba said that when the dog dies as dog, the snake will die as a snake. But human body, we as a human being have a potential to die as God. Then we won't die. We will self-realize ourselves. So experiencing God's presence, his potency, he's everywhere, which we see his miracle. Potency means through his miracles. We experience him. This happened with me. Oh, this is God's grace. This happened, this happened. All the good things we remember, but sometimes the bad things happen. All this happened because of his power. And That's why Hariharji Maharaj says, Hari kare sukh hari. Whatever he does, he knows what he's doing because he's potent. He's omniscient. He knows. So by practicing this, we experience, we realize Satchit Ananda, Aham Brahmasmi. So this is the path from Narse Narayan to oneness with all. So we have to practice it from the morning. When we get up, we read Bhagavad Gita, do Om Mantra, read Ramayana, Guru Granth, whatever is resonates with our practices. And then during the day, we practice. We should practice. This is the 30-day planner, but all this is a daily, we should do that. So yoga practices, pranayam, yoga practices to strengthen our body. And also when we do hatha yoga with the pranayam, then it becomes truly yoga, not just the exercise, because just exercising nowadays, even you go to yoga classes and clubs and all that, they just have the music going on, and sometimes Bollywood music, sometimes Hollywood music, sometimes, and that is, you are connected more with those external world, not with breath. And so the impact is just, it is just an exercise, it's not a true yoga. True yoga is when we are connecting every exercise, every move with the breath. Then it is called hatha yoga, or it is called true yoga. So that's why it is called pranayam. Then meditation, to experience how our current flows in our body, witnessing it. This is all the witnessing. So when we do the yoga, we should witness, how am I doing it? When I do the pranayam, I should witness it. When I do the meditation, that's why we do the Sakshi meditation. And during this session, we have been doing it. And then contemplate on one thing, whatever we need to practice here. This is a big job. It's not like it just, talking is very simple. We are speaking here, it's very simple. Putting together all this. However, to actually experiencing it and practicing, that's where the actual job comes. And then in the evening, continuously inquiry about ourselves. How did I do it? Where did I need to improve further? And by doing that, and ultimately then we surrender. Sarva dharman paritajya mamekam sharanam braj. So end of the day, we evaluate, and then whatever the way we do it, just let it go. So just that's why I say sarva dharman paritajya, let it go, let it go. You just focus on your activities, focus on your this exercises, and then just let go. So this is how we go beyond our birth and death, from lower conscious level to higher conscious level. So our homework is again, so Dhyaya Abhyasam, self-inquiry, self-inquiry, self-inquiry. And most of the things are same, only few things change, but few things are always the same from very first session, which we started in January 2nd, 2022. Question number 1, do I have a supreme goal of self-realization? Do I live in awareness? Do I witness? Am I Sakshi? Do I experience His presence? Am I on the path of divinity? Do I live every moment in His consciousness? Do I see God everywhere? Yo mam pashati sarvatra, which we learned before. Am I experiencing through peace and calmness? Do I understand that body is temporary? My Atma is permanent. Once I do that, here, I can see God here, God here, God in every direction. He is present everywhere. So God, He is the creator. He is the kindness. He is the calmness. He is the peace. Whatever way you feel the goodness, that's whatever way you feel those qualities, those virtues, that is representation of God. So continue to practice, 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 and ask the question, how am I doing? And then we will become virtuous, and we will become the knower. And from there, we can reach to the ultimate oneness, merge with the supreme power. So we become the bigger Kshetragna, not that this limited body Kshetragna, individual Kshetragna, but bigger Kshetragna. So we merge with him. So our sankalpa, I experience God everywhere. I witness God's play. I feel him everywhere. Once I have that attitude, then we feel happy, healthy, and peaceful. Satchit Ananda. But keep in mind, this is not a quick fix. It is not this is a long journey, blissful journey, but long journey. So have a patience, but our sankalpa of not the worldly things, because sankalpa bhavan, the sankalpa of I am on my path, that sankalpa, I need to attain the purpose of my life, that's my sankalpa. By doing that little by little, shanai shanai uppanve, little by little, our buddhi will transform. But we must always, Atma Sanshaya, we should not question ourselves. Sometimes we fall back and forth. We should always be just on this path and always live in God's consciousness. And by doing this is putting the seed that I am no different than God, and continue to become a sakshi. Little by little, we will experience more and more. In other words, we will see the flowers and the fruits, and we become oneness with supreme power, and we see God everywhere in everybody. Then we do not judge anybody. We just see it's all his play. So I put this image all the time to remind us that this is a kachue ki chal. It's not a khargosh ki chal. Like we read the story while we were in our school, how the khargosh fails to reach, but how the turtle finally make it to his destination. So we will make it to our destination as long as we put our virtues, our gyan, and see God everywhere. So thank you very much to attend the session. Who is God? And where to find God? God is omnipresent. He's everywhere, here, there, wherever we are sitting. And he's omnipotent. We feel him. He's omniscient. He's always giving us the wisdom. So the question comes again, where is God not present? God is present everywhere. So thank you very much for this another session of freedom from pains and miseries to attain happy, healthy, and peaceful life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.